You may be here today with absolutely no awareness of who you actually are anymore. You may feel lost. You may feel like you've lost your identity. You may feel like you don't know what your needs are and things like that. And the reason for that is because there has been such a long time of looking out and people pleasing and being agreeable. And often, if you've been going to groups or if you've been watching the videos and you've been looking out for the answers, then the internal dialogue is lost. It's other people, it's external noise. And that does happen because we try and fit in, which I said in another video, is we're programmed to fit in and be agreeable and make less disruptions in the world and comply. Be agreeable, especially for women, especially in the West. Okay, from my experience. And I mean, I come from Scotland and the UK, and it's a very intense experience to live there and to personally express yourself because it's such a small country that everyone is kind of on top of each other. Different countries have different experiences. Now, ultimately, you're only having one conversation with one other being, and that is Source. That is the divine. There are billions and billions of people on the planet, and you're not going to get on with everyone. And the reason that you've come to this point of people pleasing and getting on is because you have a back catalogue of, it's highly likely you have a back catalogue of chaos and drama and punishment and suffering and guilt tripping from the past. So this has been your survival mechanism, is to be agreeable or to how to navigate or how to get energy from other people, is to bend yourself out of shape to ensure that you're safe. And by bending yourself out of shape, you're unsafe inside yourself. And you've done that to make sure that you're safe on the outside. But what usually happens is you're not safe on the outside because these people take advantage. And so they create drama, or they ask more of you, or they get you to do things which are dangerous, out of alignment for you. So it's a lose-lose. You're unsafe on the outside in the world by doing things that people want you to do. And these people push themselves on you. These people force their needs on you. So you're not safe. Your outside world doesn't look safe. And then on the inside, the level of compromise and misalignment and messaging that you've given to yourself has made you unsafe on the inside too, as well. So to people please and to compromise and to try and get on with everyone has made you very inconsistent and unstable in both the external and the internal. Now, to correct that, well, first of all, let's get back to neutral. Let's get back to, like, that's the past. Let's get back into the center stage. The first point is to bring awareness to it. We don't judge ourselves. We don't scold ourselves. We take stock, and it's quite painful. You might get upset about the situation that you're in, which is probably true. That's why you're here. And what do we do now? How do we fix this? What do we want it to look like? Well, again, like I said, there are billions and billions of people out there. You can't get on with everyone. And what that leads to is acknowledging that you're going to upset some people. or some people aren't going to like what you say or do, and that's not your responsibility. And the reason that you're people pleasing is two things. You're either very empathic and intuitive, where you don't want people to feel pain, or you're scared of the consequences of disagreeing. So there's programming there and there's trauma there. So this is the awareness. And we get back to neutral again. So you can't get on with everyone. And you can't, because there are billions of people. So what you're doing is you are only having a conversation with one being, and that is your connection to source, your connection to the divine. And that is the only connection that you've ever really needed to have, because you are a representation of source and you are a representation of the divine. And when you get back to that point, you bring your energy in close and you stop going out for the answers. You stop going to all the meditations. You stop saying yes to everyone's needs, and you start listening to your needs, and you're having a conversation with the divine. And the divine will always be on your team. Will never ask you to do something that's not within your capacity. Okay. So this is where you're strengthening your psychic skills into healing, which creates more psychic protection. And when you do this, you are then recognizing that every other being has their soul connection. And because we're working from love without conditions, we are allowing every other being to take their path through life with their connection to source, whilst we also honor our path and our connection to source. And that's how you heal yourself, and that's how you strengthen your boundaries, and that's how you stay away from people who, or you stop people pleasing, you stop not listening to, you start listening to your messaging, and you start to have this, it compounds, it starts to build, it's a positive spiral up. So when you listen to your needs and you have the conversation with source, God, universe, whatever you call it, you get this, you have a conversation with, and you get the conversation back, and you start to feel stronger and safer. But when you start to feel safer internally, you ask that of the world around you, consciously or unconsciously. And the world around you will or will not respond. And your love without conditions, which are gentle boundaries and clear needs, you choose. You get to choose where these realities take place. And the people who you've been people pleasing will evolve with you or move on and learn their lessons with someone else. And maybe by you holding a boundary, you're giving them a lesson. Not by conflict, but by being centered. And that's how you heal yourself, and that's how you heal other people. Okay, you are having this one-on-one conversation with the only person that's the most important in the world, and that's you and your soul reflection in the divine, in the universe, in God, in source, in Mother Earth, in whatever it was, your connection to source, before anything else. Okay. So what you can do is you can pay it back. You can remember that you can't get on with everyone, that you're not here to people please, and remembering that the people pleasing, and I mean, when you're people pleasing, you're compromising yourself, which we've discussed, but you're not helping the soul growth of the other person, because you're enabling them, because letting them do stuff which isn't ethical and moral and of value. Now, it's not your job to sort everyone out. It's not your job. It's your job to sort yourself out. It's your job to fix yourself to a level where you attract people who want to heal, who want. So I'm here now, and I'm not this person I was 30 years ago. So I've had to do my work and my connection to source to deliver this to you today. Okay? And this is much more benefit to you who I am now than who I was then. And so when you stop people pleasing, it's not that you're abandoning your friends or you're dissing people or you're being, you know, a bitch. You are allowing them free will and inviting them to have a healthier relationship with you. But most importantly, the relationship that you have with the divine, and I'm not talking about religion, I'm talking about spirituality, holistic living, not even spirituality, it's holistic living, it's natural law. Okay, I've been meditating for 40 years, and more people are tapping into the collective consciousness in a healthy manner. More and more people are becoming aware of their part in the something more. There are more and more people, because when I first started to meditate, it felt quite hard to connect, and now it feels easier, not because of time, but because it's a bigger space. There's more people in that space sharing. Okay? And you have your own flavor, you have your own conversation with God, to put it in another word. You have your own universal language. And how do you do this? Well, you can start simple by asking for a sign. Show me a sign. Or you can talk to the birds. You can feed the birds and you can have a conversation. And they do. If you feed them bread or whatever you feed them, they do start to engage with you. You may also, like if you meditate in a chair and it's the same chair, the energy, the positive energy in that space starts to build. And this is your connection, this divine connection to energy. Or you may have a park bench that you like to sit on, or you may have a place that you like to go. And that is how you start to build your connection with the divine. And it gives you that clarity and peace, which you didn't get by people pleasing. And when you go out in the world, people feel that clarity and peace. And anyone who has good intentions with you will want you to stay in clarity and peace. And the people who get upset by you being in clarity and peace, well, there's an answer in there for you, okay? So this is the point of this one here, is when the only conversation you need and your energy healing and your energy sensitivity is a conversation with the universe, and you build that energy. Thank you.